Laura and Gabby.
Hi.
We're missing someone. Elena! Don't worry, she did not ditch us.
No.
She's actually at her mother and her sister-in-law. They both have their birthdays today, so understandably she's not here. Good excuse. Good reason not to be here.
Yeah.
But she said, go ahead, do the video without her.
She sent us her write-up.
She did. So we'll talk about whatever it is that...
Today's topic is shoes, particularly wedding shoes.
Yes.
So because the season of weddings is coming up,
yeah,
we thought it would be a nice topic to bring up of what our wedding shoes were and some ideas.
Yeah, and for those people out there that congratulations if you got engaged over the holidays. I know at least 3 people that got engaged over the holidays, and once the excitement sort of settles, they're like, oh no, I have to plan. Yeah. So we're here to kind of help you out with wedding shoes ideas. Now, before you think, oh, they're going to be talking about the white shoes, the typical wedding shoes. No.
That's very 80s, 90s.
That is very
We've
80s,
moved
90s.
on from that now.
So, and the reason why we wanted to do it is because for Gabby and myself, and even Elena, for her shoe too, we chose shoes that we could wear not just for the wedding, but after the wedding. So your shoe is gorgeous, gorgeous. Do you want to show everyone your shoe?
My shoe that I chose, first of all, I had a ball gown dress that was tulle all the way down with a sweetheart neckline.
Beautiful dress, yeah.
I wanted to accentuate more of the shoe over the dress. So I saw a sample sale. I bought my dress for $125.
I was there with you. I remember. And the good thing is that her mom is a seamstress. So I remember you saying, oh, my mom could take this part in and this part in. And I was thinking, wow, this dress, A, was gorgeous to begin with.
Yeah.
B, your mom did a little embellishments here and there. And the dress itself was gorgeous, but the shoe definitely made it.
I got the Lady Lynch Louboutins in pink glitter. It was a special order. Yeah. They also had a turquoise, which was almost like a blue water. They were beautiful, but pink has always been my color.
You said you wanted a pink shoe.
Yeah, I wanted a pink shoe. Yeah. So these were my choice. They are the 120s. They are the Louboutins. They are a deceiving shoe because they're the type of shoe that you wear for an hour and you think they're comfortable, and then all of a sudden at 60 minutes, bam.
I remember she had her wedding in Vegas, and after the ceremony, we were walking through the casino, and it's all carpeted, and you took your
my
shoe
eyes
off.
Just lit up, and I was like, I need flip-flops now, right now.
But while you were holding it and walking through the casino, everyone's like, congratulations, your shoes are so gorgeous. And so in a way, you were showing off your shoe.
More than underneath my dress, No, but I love them, and I still do wear them to events, but they're definitely a shoe you have to plan around. You have to plan with the flat shoes in your purse or your flip-flops, because there's no way in hell you are making it out of the night of 8 hours wearing these shoes.
Yeah, they're gorgeous though. They look stunning with your dress.
They are
look
beautiful.
Stunning in your hand when you're walking.
They are beautiful.
Yeah.
They definitely need to be taupied.
Well, what's a taupie?
A taupie is, especially with Louboutins, because there is a red bottom and you do wear them out, the bottom sole here gets worn off, right?
Yeah.
So what they do, the cobbler does, is it's an actual brand called Taupie. You can look it up.
Okay.
We'll link down below if you really want to take a look at what they look like. But they put on the rubber sole here, and they do have a special red ones for the red Louboutins, which is the same shade. Especially for.
Okay.
The regular taupie is a black taupie. And I even sometimes get my 9 West shoes taupie, because what it does is it's a more comfortable walk for you as well, because they don't slide. Yeah. So it is comfortable for the balls of your feet as well, because it doesn't give that impact of the cement on the shoe. I do have to get these taupied, but one thing with taupies is there's usually the black one, which usually is about $30. If you go and get the red ones done, they're about $10 more.
Of course.
So anyway, but you can't get them taupied right away. You can't go buy Louboutins, take them to the cobbler and say, I need these taupied, because they'll turn you away. They actually have to be worn 3 or 4 times for the taupie to stick to the surface.
Yeah, because the surface in general, the
has
brand new
to be
shoe
rough.
is like
smooth, so
right?
they will turn you away, and they'll say come back after about 4 or 5 wears. So this is now definitely time to get taupied. Here's the thing. Oh my God, I'm using your terminology now. Here's the thing. I swear she says this about 50 times a day. Here's the thing. If you wait...
You just said it 5 times right now.
If you wait too long to get it taupied, and this is what happened with the other Louboutins, this will start to travel. So the leather will start to fray and fray and fray. And once it's up here, then it's going to cost you more because they need to topi it all the way up, and it's not a look you want to go for. That's what my other Louboutins did.
Oh, really?
They started traveling. This is way before I even knew about it.
Yeah.
They started traveling all the way up to here, so they had to topi it up to here. It still looks okay, but it's not really the look you want. You want it to be just in this area right here.
Yeah. Okay. That's good advice.
So yeah,
Good to
so
know.
those are them. The Lady Lynch in pink glitter.
Very nice. Now, aren't you thinking of getting a similar shoe?
Yeah,
even though you said they were uncomfortable.
My next shoe they come in different heel sizes, right?
Okay, yeah.
So the next shoe I want to get is called the Socate, and those are fairly new.
Wait, Socate? I thought you wanted the Pigels?
Those are the ones I wanted before. The
Okay, what's the
Socates are
difference?
very similar,
Okay.
but they're just a more modern twist on the Pigels.
Okay.
So, interesting fact though with the Pigels, you know why they're called Pigels, right?
No. Why?
Okay, so the Pigalle name originated from Pig Alley in Paris. And way back when, Pig Alley had a very dirty reputation where all the prostitutes hung out.
Okay.
So the Pigals are actually named after Pig Alley.
It was a nickname, right?
Yeah,
like
a nickname.
Pigalle,
Pig Alley in Paris.
Nice.
Yeah,
I'm
fun
sure
fact.
it's a cleaned up area now
Yeah.
that I think I remember now you telling me about that, and I think we read it together somewhere that it was a dirty area.
Yeah, bad
back in the day,
reputation,
like
back in the day,
in the
yeah.
war area, like I think World War One or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So interesting fact. Yeah. So that's your shoe.
That's
gorgeous
my shoe.
Elena, as we mentioned, wrote her response to us about her shoe. She's not here, obviously. So
No, really?
Yeah, she's
Elena?
not.
Elena!
But we'll show you a picture of her shoe. But basically, she said that she decided that she loves to travel more than splurging on clothes or shoes or bags and all. That's just Elena. That's her interest, her car and traveling. So prior to her wedding, she decided to have her wedding in Hawaii, which was absolutely gorgeous. But prior to that, we planned, along with other friends, a stagette for her in Seattle.
It was 80s themed.
It was 80s themed, very fun. And then right after, she went to Vegas because a friend of her invited her to Vegas.
Yeah.
And so she decided that it wasn't sort of in her budget, but, she only lives once. So she decided to go to Vegas too. And then so it was like Seattle, Vegas, then Hawaii, her wedding. So she was on a strict budget. She was actually going to wear an old 10-year-old gold sateen open-toe shoe with the ballet ribbons up the ankle. Her reasoning was no one really sees your shoe under your dress anyway. That's why she was going to wear that. But luckily, when she was in Vegas with her friend, they were at off 5th, the clearance outlet for Saks Fifth Avenue, and she found beautiful Badgley Mishka gold pumps with diamond embellishments. The shoes were originally $350, and they were marked down to just over $100. And because she was on the budget, she was like, "Should I get them? Should I not get them?" And her friend said, "You have to buy them.
She should get them.
She should get them." Long story short,
You can't go wrong with Badgley Mishka.
No, they're gorgeous.
They always have beautiful shoes.
Very nice. So she said, long story short, traveling takes precedence over high fashion for me. If she didn't go to Vegas or Hawaii as her wedding destination, she maybe would have spent up to $1,000 on a shoe, but she's too practical for that. And
I was
parties
just going
are
to say,
different.
I can't see Elena spending that much on shoes.
She did spend quite a bit of money on her dress, which was a beautiful dress, but once again, priority. She decided that she wanted to spend that on the dress.
And I mean, that's exactly, everybody's different, right?
But the wedding, that's being said, she said her wedding shoes are the color that she'd wear again, and she already did over the holidays.
Yeah.
She wore like a white winter dress, and she did wear her shoes. It's not a white shoe; it's more like an off-white,
like
creamy.
shell.
Yeah. So it does work with that, and she actually says no regrets. They're just so darn pretty that she loved it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's Elena's shoe, and that was her choice. So she decided, and Badgley Mishka, you can get a really nice quality shoe, not spending like thousands.
They definitely
of dollars.
are affordable because I was looking at some options with Badgley Mishka too at the time.
Yeah. So that's what she decided to do, and they're great. So my shoe, I have 2 wedding shoes. And there's a reason behind that. I know you're kind of looking at me going, of course you do, but there's a reason why I have two wedding shoes, or I had two wedding shoes. My wedding was an incorporation, like a fusion of Asian wedding and a Western wedding, basically because we wanted to honor my and my husband's cultural background, and because we were both born and raised in Vancouver, we're very westernized, and we wanted to have the white dress, the white wedding. So that's what we did. So on the Asian portion of it, we had the Chinese tea ceremony, and it's all red, gold, you know, the colors, good luck colors. And for it's called, you have to wear that outfit.
Yeah.
It can be called a choi sam or a kwa. And I wanted to wear a red shoe. My wedding shoe wasn't red, so therefore I couldn't wear that. So I decided to get a red shoe, and this is the shoe that I decided to get. The Valentino with the big bows.
Dorsets.
Yes. I love this shoe. It has a good heel on it. You were thinking of getting this.
That was one of my options that I was looking at, but I was looking at the pink.
Yeah. And the pink that they come in, this one is more like a nude. It's a nude pink. I think they come in.
It's a pastel almost.
It's a pastel, yeah.
And that's why I didn't go with it, because I wanted like a punch of color.
Yeah. I wanted red. This I actually wore on my bridal shower. I wore this for my Chinese ceremony. And I actually wore these to Elena's wedding. Too. So I guess it is a wedding shoe if you think about it. But I could wear it I've worn it going out with a black dress, a little black dress.
And you also wore it out with me to an event.
Yes.
Where she nicked them.
This is what I mean. I'm so afraid.
You have to be very careful of the cracks in the sidewalks.
And that's what I remember. I like stepped in a crack and I'm like, no!
You know what? You can't avoid this, because my Louboutins at home, they have the same thing. They have it up here from when we went to LA that time. Yeah. You can't avoid it, especially if you're drinking or something like that. You're a little
we don't
less
really
careful.
Drink though.
No, we're not big drinkers.
I don't drink, and I'm still a klutz, and
I'm not a big drinker either, and
that's something you can't really fix. So.
Well, that's the thing with handbags. If you get something small like a nick in the leather, usually they can fix that.
You can go to a cobbler and they can fix it.
With nicks like this.
Especially on patent leather,
it's hard. Yeah. It's hard to fix.
But luckily, it's a small little nick, and I don't wear these shoes, obviously, all the time, but only on special occasions. And so, you know, like, it's a little nick. It's not, you know, that
They're
big.
beautiful.
They're gorgeous, but this was my Chinese tea ceremony shoe. Yeah. And then for my white wedding, like, with my white dress and everything. Idol? Yes, as in Billy. You just dated yourself there too. You
again.
Elena, again.
Damn it.
So speaking of dating oneself, don't hate me, but I decided for when I got married that I wanted blue shoes, something blue. And it all started when we went and saw the Sex and the City movie, the first one.
You had to reference that again.
I did. No, the first time it was Elena. This time it's me. But there's a scene in the movie where she goes into her closet and the closet doors open and there's the blue Manolos that are just stunning. And I remember we went to go see the movie and most of the women in the theater went,
most.
You
most
did. I
of
did.
The women.
We were like, oh my God, those shoes are so gorgeous. So right
I
there
rolled
and then,
my eyes.
right there and then, I thought, if I ever get married, I'm going to have those blue shoes. Well, I went to Nordstrom. I went, like you, I went to Seattle to go pick up my shoes, and I was talking to the sales lady, and I was telling her what my dress looked like, and she said, no, don't get these shoes. I was a little bit, I was crushed. Because my dress was lace.
Okay.
And those shoes, as gorgeous as they were and they're high, the little silver buckle.
Oh, okay. It has the ridges.
It has the ridges, and she's like, it's going to snag on the lace. And I'm like, but I want,
that would have been annoying.
I'm like, I want the shoes in blue. So she said, why don't you get it in this style?
Now, these have been around for a long time.
They have. And you
they're
know what?
Classic.
Now, in hindsight, I love that I picked up this shoe. I'm glad I listened to her because, one of the things she said is that you still get that crystal embellishment there, the buckle, but since it's oval, it's not going to snag.
It doesn't have a ridge. Yeah.
And she's like, if you're going to be wearing it for your wedding, you want something low. She's like, so many people come in and get the high shoe.
Like me?
Yeah, like you. But
and then they can't walk
They can't walk in it after an hour, and this one's a lower heel, so you still get that height.
Yeah.
But it's comfortable.
These for me are too low. I
you know
I
what?
wouldn't wear these.
I wore this for the ceremony. I wore it
Yeah.
for the photo shoot. I wore it for
Yeah.
dancing.
They look comfortable.
They were
Yeah.
comfortable all night. I never had to take these shoes off.
Yeah.
Love it.
I definitely had to take my shoes
Yeah.
off.
So if your dress is, you know, like not too long, like you can afford wearing a
Yeah.
shorter heel, I would highly recommend these shoes. And these shoes come in like a silver, a gold, like the actual leather. This is more like a satin fabric.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I love
two
them.
totally different.
Two totally different. Yeah, you can heel
Yeah.
comparison. There you go. You can kind of see. Mine's a little short and stumpy, but you know what? Comfortable. Wore them all night, and I
Mine
love
are
them.
beautiful, but not comfortable.
They're both beautiful, and even Elena's shoe is beautiful too. So these.
And what's
were-
the price range for those ones?
this?
Average price range or a little bit
You
higher?
know what? This shoe has been around many seasons.
Yeah.
Like it's a classic.
Definitely.
He's not going to take it out of his lineup. So I believe.
And the same with the Lady Lynch. They
Yes.
just have different materials.
I think I paid $800.
That's about the
US?
same as this one then.
Something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. And then these ones here were actually less than that. They were about 700, I think.
Yeah.
But you know what? Once again,
And I think it depends too if you buy in the States versus Canada.
yeah. Well,
Because
at the
States,
time,
at the time, these were 6.
At the
Here
time,
they were
though,
8.
our dollar was better.
Yeah.
Our dollar today currently is not as good, but
Yeah.
it was at one point par, so that our Canadian money, you could go and get it for the same price as the
Yeah.
Americans, because the American pricing is usually a bit lower than Canadian pricing because
Yeah.
of the exchange and everything. But going back to the point of, you might think, oh my gosh, she spent so much on shoes. But I didn't want to spend money on my dress, because for me the dress was not
Same here.
important.
Same
I
here.
wanted to spend it on the
Same
shoe.
here. I actually gave my dress to charity.
Yeah.
I
Your beautiful
boxed
dress
it
is
up.
nice, so.
And I just gave it to charity.
My dress, I actually didn't pick out. It was my
Yeah.
mom and my maid of honor, because I was like, I'm going to go to BCBG.
I mean, I wanted a
Yeah.
pretty dress, but I knew I was only going to wear it for 8 hours, and then it would go in a box.
Exactly.
So then what?
I wanted to go to BCBG, get like a simple white dress, and
Yeah.
of course my mom and my maid of honor were horrified. They're like, you can't go and get that. I'm like, but I'm going to splurge on
Yeah,
shoes.
same with me.
Luckily, I found a beautiful dress on sale at the same bridal shop that you
Yeah.
went to.
Yeah.
And found
Oh,
a
you got
gorgeous
it
dress.
at the same one I did.
Yeah,
eh?
I did, and it was on sale. I think it was the time of the season, and I still could afford to get my
Yeah.
two shoes.
And you
so.
did the exact same thing as
I did.
as I did. High
Yeah,
five.
high five! Yay! So these
These.
are our shoe choices
Yeah.
for our wedding. If you're having an Asian wedding or a cultural wedding, you might want to take a look at a
If you're having a
shoe.
pole dancer wedding.
Yeah, there
these
you go in
ones.
Vegas. And if you want your something blue, this is a great option.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful blue color. But as we mentioned, there's a lot of other designers out there, like Elena's Badgley Mishka.
Badgley Mishka.
They make great shoes. Betsy
Johnson has a great wedding collection
I
out,
believe
yeah.
the Solar shoes are blue.
Baby blue.
yeah, for that something blue.
Yeah.
So those are our options. Let us know if you agree with our options, if you love our options, or maybe you yourself have different options.
Yeah.
Let us know. Yeah, that's our collection. So,
Thanks for watching.
thanks for watching.
Bye.